Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to be going over strings in Python. Before we jump into it, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video, and let's dive right into it. So, what are strings in Python? Strings are just a collection of characters that you use in Python on a day-to-day basis. So, let's get started here. So, if I want to print out a string, I use two quotation marks. These can be single quotes or double quotes, but usually double quotes are used, but single quotes are also highly used in Python, and I'll get to the reason why. So here, if I just type out print hello, this, if I run it, you can see over here it prints out hello, and this, I use double quotes for the string. I could also use single quotes, but they'd have to be matching, so if I use a single quote here, I have to use a single quote here, and a double quote there, and double quote there. And if I run this works the same way, it prints out hello. Now, the reason single quotes and double quotes are used interchangeably is if I want to use a single quote inside the string. So if I do that, it's fine in this, but if I want to use a double quote inside here, it's going to give me an error because it's going to think the string is ending over here, and what is this third quote and these random characters doing. So if I run this will give me an error. So this is why there's two solutions to this problem. Either I could use single string for the string and it work properly, or I could use double string, double quotes if I really want to, and I use a backslash here. What this backslash tells it is that this character coming up next is a part of the string and is not a special character, and it tells Python to basically ignore it and treat it as a part of the string. But this backslash isn't a part of the string, it just is there for the Python compiler to know. And if I run this, you can see that it works properly, and it's the same thing with single strings, single quotes. If I have a single quote there, a single quote there, then I can also use a single quote here, whereas without the backslash it would give me an error, as you know, but with the backslash it works out just fine. So that's one reason why we use double quotes and single quotes interchangeably. And this backslash is also used for a lot of other things. So there's stuff called escape sequences that it can be used as part of string. One example of that would be a backslash n. What this represents is a new line. So if I run this now, you'd see it's going to print this in one line and then low in another line. So if I run this real quick, you can see here it prints them out in separate lines. Another one is backslash t. You could probably assume what that is. That is a tab character. That, I believe, adds 4 spaces in between the two. That does not look like 4 spaces. But it's supposed to have 4 spaces between the two words. And moving on, if you want to use, one of the frequent questions I get is, what if I want to use a backslash inside a string and not use it as a special character? So what you want to do there is you just have a backslash backslash. What this does is it tells Python that this next backslash is just a part of the string, and if you run this, you can see there will be one backslash inside the string, as you can see. Moving on, you can also perform mathematical operation with strings. I know that may seem a little odd, but I give you a little example here. Let's say we have a variable called food, and we set that equal to butter, and then we have a variable called insect, and we set that equal to fly. You could probably see where I'm going with this. And if I do print butter plus fly, or print food plus insect, what am I doing? Food plus insect. This is going to take the values of these variables, which is butter and fly, add them together with no space in the middle, and then print that value out. So you can see it prints out butterfly with no space right here. And same thing goes for multiplying. Let's say I'll just use this example. I want to print out butter 5 times. Butter has the value of food, so print that out times 5. There'd be no space. It'd just be butter, 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 5 spaces, no spaces in the middle. And you can see that here. If I want to add a space, I just add a space here, and this would space them out with 1 space in the middle. Next, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have a thing variable. We're gonna go over string slicing. Thing equals YouTube. Gonna add some capitals here. You'll see why later. YouTube, T, channel, capital C. Okay, so the first method that we're gonna go over is actually we'll go over function first. One of the main functions that you can use with strings is the len function. You can probably assume what that does. It gives you the length of the string, or like how many characters are in there. So if I do thing in here, it print out, I believe 15 is the length of the string. So 15 characters, you can count that. There's 15 characters inside here. Also, if you want to convert all of the, these are all the methods, by the way, inside strings. So the main ones are the ones up top. So if you want to do thing.upper, what this does, it converts all the letters of this string into uppercase characters. So if you run that here, you can see all of them are upper. Same goes with thing.lower. You can see there's a capital Y, capital T, capital C, but if I run this here, these are all going to be lowercase. And another one is thing.replace. What this does is if I want to replace, let's say, the N in the channel with an I, this would be here. It takes two arguments, and if I want to replace the N with an I, these two N are now going to be replaced with I's. You can see here. And another one is find. What this does is it returns the index of the first instance of the N. So I don't think we went over indexes yet. We'll do that real quick. So what indexes are basically the location of the characters of the inside the strings. So the Y here would have the index of 0, the O would have an index of 1, U would have an index of 2, T would be 3, and so on. So if I do N, this would be something like 11, I believe. Yeah, and you can count that up: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this is the 11th character, and it returns that over here. And the last one that I wanted to go over is count. So what count does is it basically just returns the amount of times that this character is used in the string. So if I run this would print out 2, but if I'd have 2 N's here, this would only print out 1 because the 2 N's are only used once inside the string. So now moving on to string slicing. Like, let's say I want to just get the first character of this thing string. So 0, as we went over earlier, the 0 index would be just the capital Y. If I run this would print out capital Y. If I want to get like the second, which would be the third because it goes 0, 1, 2, this would be the lowercase u, as you can see right there. And then let's say I want to print out from T, which is the third index, and I want to print out onwards. So what this colon does is it tells it from the third location onwards. So this would print out like tube channel, I believe. And the same goes for the other way. This would print out up to 3, so just YOU. And then let's say I want to access the last value of the string. So as this one's 0, the last one's always -1. -1, or not over there. -1. So that would be L, it printed out, and if you can assume that this was -1, the E is probably -2. You run this, and you can see that's E. A common question I get is, if you watch my list videos, can you change the value of the string? So let's say thing 0, which is Y, I want to set that equal to U. This you cannot do at all in Python because strings are immutable, which means they cannot be changed. So do not try doing this, as if I run this here, it would result in an error. String does not support item assignment. So that would be, that's that. Slicing. So we went over slicing, methods, and functions. That's it for this video. Stay tuned for the next one. I will be starting a Flutter series, so you don't want to miss that out. That's all I had planned. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.